This video will be your go-to guide for texting, regardless of your current skills or which girl you're talking to. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to understand about texting. And if you ever feel uncertain or run into any issues with texting, return to this video, and I guarantee you'll find the solution to your problem. First, you need to grasp that the aim of texting is to set up a date and meet the woman in person, not to just chat. The goal isn't just conversation, it's about arranging a meet-up. Pay attention to this. As a man, there's nothing to be gained from endless texting. It's a waste of your time and won't benefit you in any way. That's the first key point I want you to understand. Second, texting alone won't make a woman develop feelings for you. This is a mistake many men make. They text just to chat. No, you should be using texting as a tool to reach the point of arranging a date. Now, I'm going to slightly deviate to talk about something important: men who talk to girls who don't live in the same city. If you're in one state and she's in another, don't waste your time. This isn't meant to criticize, but what will you gain from talking to a girl who lives far away? Even if you manage to meet up once a month or once every 3 months, this is a losing equation for you as a man. There are thousands, maybe millions of women in your city. Why look elsewhere? Think hard before you spend your time and energy on this. The third point I want to make is that texting is simply a form of conversation in the digital world. Yes, it follows different rules compared to face-to-face interaction, but it's still just a reflection of real-world communication. So, to succeed in texting, you first need to understand how to communicate effectively in real life. If you've been following my series on how to attract women, you should have no problem with this. I've explained everything you need to know, and by now, you likely understand how women think. If you haven't seen the series yet, please go back and start from the beginning. Once this video is done, it'll help you get the most out of today's video. Now, let's get back to the subject of texting. From my experience, I've noticed a mistake I used to make and that many other men still make. They don't know when to ask a girl out. So now, I'm going to introduce a basic concept in texting. You need to know what stage you're in. Are you in a position to ask her out, or should you keep the conversation going? Or are you still in the phase where you need to build more attraction? The key is understanding which stage you're in right now. I'm going to give you a compass that'll help guide you through this. This compass will help you determine which stage you're at when texting a girl or just starting to talk to one. There are 4 stages. Stage 1, the silence stage. This is when she leaves you on read and doesn't reply. This indicates that attraction has dropped. Don't worry, I'll dive into this more later. Stage 2, the testing stage. This is when she criticizes you, disagrees with you, or brings up other guys. If you've watched my series, you'll know that women test men. It's a biological instinct they have, often without realizing it. I always mention that I'll make a video on how to pass these tests, and I apologize for the delay, but it's coming soon. Stage 3, the logical stage. This is when she starts discussing topics logically or emotionally with you. Stage 4, the attraction stage. This is when the girl begins showing attraction towards you, such as sending pictures or reacting positively to yours, or hinting at a meetup. In any texting conversation, you're always in one of these stages. Understanding which stage you're in is crucial for knowing how to act appropriately. Don't worry, I'll explain what to do in each stage in detail. Let's say you've reached the stage where the girl has shown attraction toward you. If you continue chatting instead of asking her out, you're making a mistake. Once you're at this stage, it's time to ask her on a date. If you keep talking without taking action, after a while, she'll reject the idea of meeting up. This happens because you didn't recognize the stage you were in and didn't act accordingly. Or take the first stage: she replies briefly and leaves you on read. If you ask her for a date here, that's another mistake. You're acting in a way that doesn't fit the stage. Once you identify the stage you're in, the next step is figuring out the correct way to handle the situation with the girl. Before I walk you through what to do in each stage, I need to explain something about texting. If you've been following me, you'll know that women are emotional beings. For them, texting is part of an emotional game, and all of their actions in texting are based on emotions. As a man, you can't play this emotional game with her because you're wired logically. That's why, in this video, explaining things from a logical perspective, I want you to understand texting logically so you don't get drawn into her emotional game. This may sound odd, but that's just how women are dating. For them is a game, and it's built into their nature. See it as an inevitable reality. But by approaching it with logic, which is your strength, you can succeed. This is what I aim to teach in all my videos. Now, let's go through the stages one by one. These stages aren't set in a particular order. You can find yourself in any of them at any time. Stage 1 is the silent stage. In this stage, she doesn't reply, takes a long time to respond, or seems uninterested. Don't bombard her with messages, keep it simple, and avoid asking for a response. Stage 2 is the testing stage. Here, she might provoke you or disagree with you. The best way to pass these tests is to either ignore what she says, turn it into a joke, or respond with something completely unrelated. Stage 3 is the conversation stage. When things start flowing, you can ask for a date here. Finally, stage 4 is when she starts sending pictures or engages positively with yours. This is when you must ask for a date before you lose her. If you don't, you risk ending up in the friend zone or having her stop talking to you altogether. By now, you should have a better understanding of the texting game. Like any game, there are rules to follow. Keep your texts brief, emotionally stimulating, and purposeful. That wraps up today's guide. You'll find the link to the full series in the description, free on YouTube. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Take care.